Hello, everyone. Wow, we are really charging through the third section. The third section is the longest section, as we've discussed, but it has the fewest number of new moves that we've had before. So exciting. Uh, are we good? Everybody's good. I'm just seeing people making adjustments. Okay, just want to make sure you were hearing me and everything. Good. All right. All right. So today we are not going to do everything from the very beginning of the form. We are going to make sure that we get a little more practice on some of the newer stuff. So I mean, of the third section, the beginning of the third section. So we're going to start, if I've got it queued up right, we are going to use Nancy's calling. It just makes it easier for all of us. And we're going to start at the cloud hands before the first snake creeps down. And you'll see why. Last time we finished and we got up to snake creeps down, right? And something else was going to be coming. So I want us to be able to do the snake creeps down, what comes after that, and everything that comes after that. Any issues that come up for folks that you remember, any issues that come up for you, we can review any of that stuff. And then we'll go on from there, and we'll be at snake creeps down again, going into a new move, which has some related form to what we did before after snake creeps down. So like every other practice we've done at the beginning, this is your warm up with Tai Chi. It is also your opportunity to practice all your essentials that we've been talking about. Most of them have been body shape. But then there was the one that we've been doing this month, which is separate, empty, and full. So because we're going to be starting pretty much out of single whip into cloud hands, that's where we're going to be starting, is my hope. I've got it queued up there. That is, as Michael said last week, that's a particularly good place, particularly sort of easy, gentle movement where you can really notice your separation of empty and full. So let's try it. We'll be a little before that. Just go into your single whip. Whoop, guess we're there. Get your good body shape. Here we go. Separate, empty, and full.
So I couldn't hear any calling. Did anybody else?
Oh, I am
Which,
so
which,
sorry.
which
You
actually
should have
was,
shouted out.
it was actually great. It was actually great just following, because, trying to just do it and then glance over occasionally just to make sure that we're like in sync. I was great. I really liked it that way.
Well, it is if you remember what comes next, but if you don't remember what comes next and somebody's not calling it, that's quite a bit. So congratulations, Erlyn. That was great.
Well, no, I mean, I was looking over a
for
lot, but it was fine. I mean, it was just like, okay, yeah, am I checking in, doing this? Yeah, here we go. This comes, I mean, it's like, it was just a visual check instead of the audio.
Right.
Fine.
Well, I
Yeah.
will right now share computer audio so that should we use it again, we're all set with that. If that happens in the future, feel free to just shout out and say, can't hear your music, I can't hear the calling or whatever. Unless, of course, you're early in and it's, oh, goody, I get to do this. So the rest of you have a mission, right? Protect your interests, right? Everybody protect their interests, however you learn best. Some people really do appreciate not having a calling because it interferes with what they're doing. So everything works. So all right. So that was challenging. That was very challenging. I'm going to suggest that we do just the last little bit again, too. So to remind us, do it maybe a couple of times, possibly from a couple directions, just to sort of get it back in our bodies. And then let's take questions about last week and anything else that you had a question about. All right, so let's go from single whip to high pad on horse. All right, so nice single whip and high pad on horse to palm thrust. And turn body cross kick. This is going to feel the footwork a lot like you were going to do. I'm sorry. Can't do two things at once. There you go. Cross kick and into punch to groin. So turn body chop with fist was what I was trying to say at the same time I was not doing it. It's like cognitive dissonance. Let's do it one more time. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it from the same direction. One more time here. From single whip, high pad on horse to palm thrust. Turn body, 135-degree turn, arm step move, coming back, remember, and let the arms pass up, kick out with that right leg, and sink, step, one line, two sides, and move your weight onto that right foot, turn back, and punch. Let's do this from the other direction. So you're going to see or not see everything from the other direction. So from single whip, high pad on horse to palm thrust. Turning away from the screen, you're going to turn body and cross kick. Sink, step, one line, two sides, right foot out towards the corner, rotate that right arm, step, punch. It's a lot like kind of like a parabolic punch there. And then Chengfu, coming up and out, shift weight, grab, pull, close step, and grasp the bird's tail. Roll back. Press. Push. And single whip in a direction you don't usually do it. Single whip. And snake creeps down. All right. So questions, confusions, and oh my gosh, I didn't even remember we did that last week. We can go over any of that. We've got time. Anyone have something in particular? Yes, Erlyn.
Yeah, just real quick on the thrust palm thing. So
Yeah.
when you step, what do you, I forget what position you're in right before that.
We're in we're
okay,
in
okay. So when you do your when you do it, I'm trying to remember how much how much your arms move or not before you land that other foot when you step out.
they haven't moved.
They haven't moved. Okay, I felt like I was doing not.
Well, you're getting ready.
Yeah.
You're getting ready, but you're going to make this a quick move before your opponent realizes what's going on. And just a move out to widen from an empty step into a bow step.
Yeah, I was moving my arms too soon. So, okay, thank you.
It's easy to do, but do think about the fact that, you've just tried to, you've just tried to get the person. They probably got your hand now or something, right? Or you're going to grab them somewhere, right? And you've got to get, you've got to get into position and shift into a heel touch as quick as you can, and then boom, that's what you're going to want to do. So sometimes there's in the move on, we'll do either this week or next week. There's another move after the move I know we're going to do this week that I have the same problem with. I don't want to wait. I don't.
Yeah, because they usually have you get set before, so you want to like get ready, like with the shuttles, and you come around and you want that arm ready.
Oh, but you're ready. Kind of you really are ready here. The assumption is you've grabbed. What isn't ready is that you don't want to do it like this because you're not stable enough to really. This is good for some sort of up down energy. Is not really or side energy, but it is not. I mean, actually, with the heel would be better for the side energy, but this is pretty much an up down thing usually. It's not, or two directions. It's really good for split energies, right? And when we're coming over like this, now we can generate energy all the way. Boom, we can shoot it all the way this way. So, which you just can't do from the position you're in. You would be, if you're trying to pull somebody into you, and let's see, do it sometime, try it, And you'll see how much better you feel when you're able to do it in a bow stance.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning the energy. That helps to understand exactly the whole train of that from the ground to the land of my fingertips during that move and why it would be after the foot comes down.
Right. So the foot's
Yeah.
here, and then you're gonna push down and action, reaction, right? It's push down, action, reaction, and then you're gonna be able to send it and send it over to that side of your body with this turn and send it up your back into your arm. So, you know, you're getting a lot of that energy. You're also pulling at the same time. So actually, it's not like you're gonna contact them here. You're gonna contact them here. Because you were, let's see, where were we? You were here, and you're gonna step over here, right? And then I'm gonna pull this opponent in, and I've got 2 feet on the ground. I am really solid. Nobody can push me back. You know, I can go like this, so they can't push me back if I need to. I mean, I'm really solid, and my weight is going forward onto this left foot as well. Both feet are grounded, they're rooted. So as I pull in, this is where I'm contacting that person here. I'm pulling that person in and down, and they're going to be right in front of me when I'm probably doing this. So it's a two-way street when I'm doing it. At least that's how I envision it. I am not the martial artist. I used to be a judo player, but I'm not this kind of martial artist. So
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions about this?
After you do your cross kick, which I'll probably fall down anyway, doesn't matter. After you do your cross kick and you come down, does your left hand just come straight across? Does it make a loop kind of feeling?
Yeah, it pretty much comes straight across, but let me do it because I want to make sure I'm. So you're in what feels like a. Let's do it from here. So we've kicked, right? And we're coming down. I looked at how JP talked about this the other day because he's actually gotten ahead of us again. And he reminded us that we come down just like this in at the end of the third section when we're going to do parry, block, and punch, right? And then we shift our weight. Now we're going to rotate my right arm. Oh, I didn't put my thing on today. My right arm, my left arm, watch, is just going to come across. But meanwhile, I'm bending a little forward. So it comes down. But it's coming down because I bent down. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Then it is just like what you did in punch down, right? You come forward, sweeping as you turn back. If you were punching down, it would be this, right? Punching down to a knee.
Right.
Instead, you do this. You have like a right angle. This would be the knee. Okay? So you have a right angle in your arm, but you still got this lean forward. You know, you're not off balance or anything. It's a good lean, but it's leaned further forward than here, right? It's wherever you can get the groin, right? I want to show you something about both of these moves. If I were to stand up right now, do you see how it's almost straight out from my shoulder? Do you see that? It's a punch. But, okay, if it was punched down, it's a punch, just like this, except that you were like this. It's almost straight out from your shoulder, right? If it was here, and in this case, it's here. So actually, you know, if I straighten up, looks like that. Isn't that interesting? It's like you don't think of it that way. So you don't have to like bend your back. I mean, and again, you're bending your back, right? You'd normally be like this, right? You'd be one line here. And you're tipping right here, right in here. You're tipping more here. However much more you need to tip. If you have a really short bow step, it could be a lot. Don't do more than is comfortable. It can really strain your back. So if you have a short bow step, don't worry. Let the person be a giant and have high knees, you know, or high groin, you know. It's okay. That is not critical. Just giving it a try. And on the pictures I gave you in the email, I wanted to point out, picture I gave you in the email, I'm like, I don't know why I did that. I'm like looking like this, out like this. No. It's just as if, you know, like if we had punched here on these, if we had punched here and then we come down, our head is still looking out. Our eyes are still looking out and our head kind of is parallel to where we're punching. So when we punch in this way, you know, the head is naturally straight with the spine. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then you're raised from, so you're not doing this, right? Your chin isn't up. It's like this. But for some reason, when I was doing the demo, that's the picture that we got. So I just wanted to point out that flaw in what we had. Let me go over both of these moves just a little bit more, just a couple more times. You can do them with me, whatever, just to help out, okay? So we are in a left bow stance in thrust palm. So, and our upper body in thrust palm is not to the corner because it's very hard to be to the corner completely when we're pulling and pushing at the same time, right? And thrusting at the same time. However, it is not square. We have turned to the right, sort of what we could. So it's less than corner, more than straight is our upper body position. Then this turn is just like, you know, you were doing chop with fist, right? Except you don't move your hands. Then remember, I'm not sure how much you can see. You're gonna let your right arm stay in space until it crosses the elbow, and these arms are gonna bend up into cross hands kind of position, right? You are open. Your hips are open to the corner like in a kick, and so is your upper body. And then you kick, just a regular old right heel kick. Keep your elbows down. So let's do that one more time. Shifting back, turn, 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 turn. Shift back, let your right arm stay in space, and it rotates into position. And kick. Now we're going to go down, sink, 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 sink. Heel, one line, two sides. Where's the toe pointing? Towards the corner. Going to rotate this right arm to palm up. As we heel, ball, toe, go stand over that foot and just turn your body all the way to the corner and step. then turn back to square as your left arm swings back and you punch to groin. And there I did it again because I get so excited about how I'm talking, my head goes up. That looks really good, Dorothy. Shall we practice one more time? Okie doke. From thrust palm, shift back, turn 135 degrees, shift back, your arms are clearing. You stand up and kick, come back, sink, step one line, two sides, arms aren't moving. Then all your weight over that right foot as you turn, make a fist, and turn back punch. Any questions? All right. Do you want to, let's talk, let's check, let's do it one more time and go into Chengfu and find out if there are any questions on Chengfu. Chengfu is just the step up for grasp the bird's tail. All right. So we'll do it one more time. Let's just do it. Yeah, from palm thrust. Shift back, turn, shift back, rise up, and kick. Sink, one line, two sides, rotate palm up, make a fist, left foot swings out, and as you turn back, punch. Then what do we do here? We just come up. We just come up to regular angle. And then rotate both hands. We've done this before so that we're in a ward off left and our right hand is down. We talk about it almost being like a pole that's, you're holding like a pole. It's on the diagonal. Then as we shift weight onto our left foot, open the right hand, left arm grab, pulls. We start to come in, foot everything, and close step for a bow step. Here is our right ward off. Roll back. Let's stop there. Any questions about Chengfu, about that transition? It's very similar to the other ones that we've done. All we have to do is we have to like come up first, right? Before we do it. All right, so we do grasp the bird's tail and we get into single whip. And then we're all ready to do cloud hands, right? Aha, no. We have done 3 cloud hands, 1 in section 2 and 2 in section 3, and 3 is all we're allowed in long form. So we do not, and that is the sign that we're almost there. The last segment has like 4 new moves in it, but the last segment has no cloud hands before it. Instead, we just go snake creeps down right from there. So are we ready to go on? Yes, okay. Let me get a drink. I'm parched today for some reason. It's hot here too. That's part of it. And I apologize. I think this is just about the first class I've completely forgotten to put something on my right arm. So let's look at this new move. So This new move starts a lot. This is step up to 7 stars. And I'm just going to start with, it comes out of snake creeps down. So here we are. And we do snake creeps down, and just like we did before. So this part is just like you did before in Golden Rooster. We come forward, and at the end of that forward, we bring our right foot in, right? And then we come back just a little, and we grab, pull a little bit out, right? Now, remember we kind of moved towards this hand in space when we were doing Golden Rooster, you know? See, watch me move towards that hand. You see how I came towards that hand? And then up, right? Well, in this case, I'm doing the same stuff again here. I'm going to move towards this hand. It's all easier. My right hand is just going to come down, and my left hand, and we're both going to make fists. It's hard to do it in slow motion. And when I get here, my right hand is, so I've gotten closer. I haven't actually moved this arm yet, right? Haven't really moved this arm yet, this left arm. But my right arm is right in here. And I step forward. And as I do, I'm punching and putting 30% on. So I'm going to show it to you faster. So we're here. So I'm crossing just behind the wrists. Okay, just behind the wrists, not at the wrists. I'm blocking here. So there's two things going on. One is that I'm coming up with a punch, right? The other, so I'll do it emphasizing the punch, and then I'll do it emphasizing the block. Maybe even do it this way. I don't know if it's going to look better this way. So. Okay, that emphasized the block. Did you see? I punched and then I blocked a little more at the end. The two are almost simultaneous, right? But if you're thinking about the block, then everything ends at the end of the block. And there was this little moving forward at the end of the block. If I'm punching, then when I punch, the punch is the end of my complete end of it. There's nothing after that. Okay. So at one point, Master Yang said several years ago that they ended at the same time, and you wanted to make sure that you still had the punch there. And I don't know what the conversations were, but he now says you emphasize the block. It's a little tiny bit, but he now says emphasize the block. I think you already have your 30% on it. You've probably felt this when you do. You were talking, Michael, earlier about brush knee and push and how powerful it is, right?
Right.
So just, you're probably feeling what you'd feel if you were shoveling snow, right? You shovel the snow and you come back and then you go like this, and then you push back with your front foot. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And the snow flies off, right?
Right.
This, or shoveling with dirt, right? You go, and there's this push back, right? At the end. It's actually, or push up. Or push, you know, you're pushing down with your front foot. It's also stopping you from doing this, right? But when you stop your energy goes out, right? You know it from shoveling. So my thought about this is that you put your 30% on, yes, it's the other foot. You put your 30% on, and you put it on, and then there's like a rebound afterwards. Just a little bit of a rebound. We don't show the energy in the long form. We do not really show the energy, but if you want your arm to go out just a little bit, that works. You just don't want them to be flying out. You're really showing the energy. Yes, Berlin.
So, is there, yeah, I'm understanding the rebound energy, you know, coming from the back to the front and then kind of going like that a little bit, but, is there a little bit of a push there, or is it simply block and that's it? Like you're blocking them and resisting them, but is there any push towards them? I mean, it looks a little pushy, a little bit.
Well,
but...
it is. A good question that you're asking. It depends on whether we're talking about the technique push, I suspect, or you're talking about if you're talking about somehow push energy, right? Because you are exerting. I don't know the answer to that in a block.
Yeah.
I don't. It's definitely not a deflection. It's just straight. So that is a really interesting question, and I've never thought about it before. And I don't think I want to come up with an answer. I think it is a very good question and a worthy one. It's a worthy of consideration, and somebody definitely knows the answer to that. But you are coming up, and you could be doing this, right? This is just, you know, this is protection or deflection, and then this is coming up, and it's a punch to somebody's chin, right? But it could also be that someone's coming straight at you, and you're meeting them here. And you want the energy going forward, and so that you can, you know, protect yourself at that point, or in the next instant deflect, right? You've got them, right? So they came in here, and then you take them over here, and then you have your way with them. That's actually in the next move. So it's a good question, and I'm still learning on that. So let's go through the footwork. The footwork is, I think I'm just going to do it towards you. Okay, so the footwork, we're actually starting, you know, we've gone down, so we're in low position, and our weight is still mostly back. We come forward at the end when our weight has come past neutral. We bring that right foot forward. Then there's that little, you know, that little tiny movement backwards, so that we can move the weight in the front foot into the heel, right? And we come out. We've done this all before. Then we move and stand on that foot. We're moving into the diagonal. We let this foot come through to neutral, and it's a ball touch, one line, two sides, 30%. 30%. You're going to need that 30%, right? 70 in the back, which means you can pick your foot up really quickly, right? The very small move of your lower back, you can pick the foot up and change your weighting on that front foot. Okay, so that's clear. You were here. Let's see, we were here, still our weight was back. We come forward, back into the heel, out, weight forward. You can just peel that back foot off the ground. It's hard to stop here. And instead of coming up here, we just come through and 30%. 30%. There should always be a little bit of a tilt here. A little bit of a tilt. And your one line, two sides. Arms. Let's see, where are we? Here, let's start here. Just follow me. Snake creeps down, right? Started forward a little bit and forward. We've done this before, right? This is old news. And out, grab, pull. Now, let's concentrate. The left hand, basically for a while, is just going to stay in space. You're going to move towards it. The right hand is just going to make a fist, right? So think about the right hand. It's just dropping, releasing, becoming a fist, heading right here, coming through 30%. So we'll do it again. And down, forward, old news, we've done this before, and make your fist, drop your arm, bring it to the side of your body. It's diagonal. Bring your foot through, cross your arms, 30%.
Well, I have a tendency to put too much weight on my front foot. I mean, I'm not stopping at 30%. I'm going like 50 or 60%.
Shame on you.
I think it's part of my posture that's causing that.
It could be. Maybe you're getting too bent forward. Or it may be that you're coming out of, maybe try don't go down so far. I'm just guessing. Try it here. Try it like way up high, right here, and see if that makes it easier to. You should have 30%. 30, 30, 30. You should be able to really push down on that.
That doesn't make it easier.
But it does. I
does.
would recommend that you shorten the step. It makes it harder to go down, but
at my age, I'm not worried about getting too low anyway. So.
Exactly, I'm not either. Right. Let's just celebrate that. There's no prize for going low. Right. There's only a prize for going low if you're really in a combat situation. Then you're really pulling your opponent. You're pulling your opponent down with you, right? And they're down. And then they're off balance. They've been pulled a long way. So, yes, Erlyn.
Okay, so on the step up, this arm, you've gone like this, and then you're coming forward. You made your fist, and then is this in place before this one comes up? Like this is here already and this is the spinal
It's
fin?
gonna look like that because, I mean, let me just see if I can do it in slow motion. It's so hard to do this stuff in slow motion. So I'm gonna end up coming towards it while this is coming down. So it's gonna get closer to me even though it's not moving initially. Then here, they're both gonna be moving, at least when there's not a conscious thing there. I'm doing it sort of, I'm just coming through all at once. So I may not be at the exact right moment, but but the sense I have of it when I'm doing it is just me talking, right? Is it doesn't come in until my foot's coming forward. It doesn't cross until I'm really turning in.
Okay.
Because you're not turning just like in the other one. You're not actually turning because you've turned your upper body here somewhat, but you're trying not to turn your upper body till the end. So you get a little turn here for this. So I just move towards it until such a time, you're moving your whole body towards it. You don't need to have it move at all. And then, yes, now.
So when you come up, it's staying there, it's moving towards you. And your body is that way. And then you just carry it with you to close. I mean, and then that's.
Now, wait a minute. I think let's do it from here. Not sure if we're closing. Yes, I guess we are closing. I was like getting my right and left mixed up. Okay. So we'll have to slow that down to look at it. I don't know. Or
Okay.
slow.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's what's happening. I think that's what's happening because you do have that after you've come up to it and you've got it here, you do have the chest turn and that will obviously take your arm with it, which puts it right where this other one is coming to it. So I guess that looks like that's what's happening.
Yes. You are turning at that point, and that's gonna. So at first, it is your body movement that gets you there. Just like in the other one, your body moves, right, and then it kicks, right, and the turn is with the kick. I mean, it's a knee kick or whatever. I don't know what it's called, a knee strike. I should know. I'm sorry. I should know that.
It looks like a knee strike. Yeah.
Yeah. That's just interesting. It's like, and what it is it's probably a strike. Imagine, ideally, I kind of showed this a minute ago when I wasn't thinking about it, but you see, I can't do it when I think about it, right? But if I just think martially, I go lower, right? So here I am. Onto me, they've been pulled down, so their chest is about here. So if I can come up like this, I can get them somewhere here in the abdomen. I mean, or I could just keep pulling down and they're falling towards me, depending on how much control I have. I can get some nasty part of my body in contact with them. So, all right, let's do all of this from thrust palm. Okay? From thrust palm. So shifting back and turning, we are going to do cross kick. And then punch to groin, sink. step, punch to groin. And Chengfu. Grasp the bird's tail. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. Snake creeps down. Step up to 7 stars. We have time to do it one more time. But do we have a question? All right, one more time. Turn body, cross kick. Punch to groin. Step up and grasp the bird's tail. Right ward off. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. High pat on horse. Is that right? No. Sorry. Snake creeps down. 2. Step up to 7 stars. All right. Well, everybody's there. I'll look at the recording and give tips next week. Next week, we catch their arm. We catch their arm. We catch their arm. Oops, no. We catch their arm. And guess what we do? So, see you next week. We only have 3 more moves to go.
Wow.
And a lot of practice and a lot of relearning and all of that, right? Because you never ever feel the 3rd section just hits you and you're like, oh my gosh. But it's so nice to be able to know what you don't know, right? You've spent a long time not knowing what you didn't know. Soon you're going to know what you didn't know, and you're going to know really what you do know. It's really exciting. So let's close class. Have a good week.
Thanks, Dee Dee.